Hello, everyone. Today I want to read from my book, The Intelligent Body. The chapter that I would love to share is about the ability to trust that you can be in an experience of joy, which is not happiness, but a steady state of experiencing exactly what's happening in your life without being taken down by any kind of emotion. So just to reiterate, because it's always worth re-describing that joy is not happiness. Joy is not being positive and accepting what happens. Joy is not the ability to be in a state of equanimity. Joy is an experience of what can best be described by Tibetan Buddhism as non-duality. Non-duality is, and sorry Cecile, I know you hate that word, literally. Non-duality is the ability to be right here in this moment, and no matter what happens, like if the roof just fell down, I'd be like, oh, got to make a call. There would be this terror, perhaps, of injury, and then there would be the experience of what to do. And so joy has only the ability to experience. And any emotion that's going along with the experience guides you. So I'll leave it at that and go on with the chapter that I love to share. This chapter is called Learn to Trust Easy. And if you're following along, it's on page 21. Oh, I thought that was my glasses. Where are my glasses? Oh, here we go. Okay, sit back while I read to you chapter Learn to Trust Easy. Is there anything more dangerous than getting up in the morning and having nothing to worry about? No problems to solve? That state can be a threat to your health. If untreated, it incites an unconscious yearning for any old dumb trouble that might rouse some excitement. And that's a quote from Rob Bresney. You must check him out. He has a fantastic book called Pronoia. And it's about how the whole world is conspiring to shower you with blessings. And it's the opposite of paranoia. It's the antidote to paranoia, as Rob Bresney says. So, poking my eyes, learning to trust easy. I discovered that when I am living in constant joy, when everything is moving in an accelerated manner, I don't know how to trust it. For example, when life is going well, I feel as if I can't handle it. It feels as though the hard wiring in me can handle things only when I need to do something, but cowers when I need to receive and trust that everything will unfold without my needing to do a thing. When I can't trust that I can trust, my whole body posture contracts like a drying sponge. I remember teaching a dance exercise class in a corporate setting and getting right into a groove riff. It was really fun. One of the participants at the front of the class yelled out her excitement, "You go, girl!" The class was grooving with the energy and rhythm going down. This woman was someone I highly respected. Oh, I'll pause for the train. And considered to be so fit, successful. Pausing. The Intelligent Body. The Intelligent Body. Get your copy. This book came out in 1989. No, that's when my daughter was born. This book came out in 2018. Okay, back to the story. So this woman was someone I highly respected and considered to be so fit, successful, and everything that I'm not, that I was constantly terrified. My insecurities flared. Oh, who am I to be teaching, to be so dancerly and leading her? I immediately separated from life. My ego self-deflated any sense of danceability I had. I felt frozen. What a terrible feeling. There I was with everyone with me, and I stumbled because they knew this was a stunning moment where anything could happen. Why? Why do we believe that when life is going well, it will inevitably end? Or is it just me? Why is there this insidious visceral vibration that is poised for struggle and just waiting for it to show up? What is this home wrecker that says, oh yeah, you may think your life is going well, but just don't get too comfortable, proud, or used to it? You can't really live this way, for that would be just way too easy. For example, You may need to have something fixed and walk right past someone who could fix it because you don't want to bother them. You don't want to bother them. Meanwhile, out in the real world, they would have been delighted to help. The other day, my friend Renee was on her way to an appointment when she got a flat tire on her bike. The friend she was meeting is a time snob and always punctual. At that moment, her cell phone rang. It was her friend calling to say that she would be 20 minutes late. Renee laughed and said, "Perfect, me too." Then Renee noticed that her mind was telling her she could find an easy way to fix this. So all she did was look up. She saw a young man on the sidewalk across the street with 10 bikes in front of him. It was a pop-up bike repair depot. He was using a tire pump and pumping up a tire. Renee laughed out loud. Then she thought, "Oh, I can't just go over and pay him to pump up my tire. I really better go to a gas station." Renee called her sister to get the location of a gas station close by. There was no Googling back then. And although the bike pump was right across the street, she did the good Toronto big city girl thing and didn't bother him, like a good decent girl, and she hauled her bike over to the not-so-handy gas station. After pumping up her tire, she rode on to the restaurant to meet her punctual friend. When she arrived, the tire was flat yet again. She groaned as she realized that she would have to walk her bike over to the local bike store, which she did after her lunch with her friend. When she walked into the bike store, she told the guy that the tire must need a new inner tube because it had gone flat after she had pumped it up. The bike guy asked, "Did you fill it up at a gas station or did you use a bicycle pump?" She didn't know how this could be so important and decided to humor him. Rather annoyed, she said, "Gas station." He smiled and said, "You need to use a bicycle pump because it has the right gauge setting for the tire. Gas station pumps won't work. They always go flat again." Renee looked at him. Of course, she thought. It is rather confounding that we often walk past lovely angels, complete with bicycle pumps, and go to the inappropriate, not as convenient gas stations in life. It is not ironic. Ironic is defined as coincidental or unexpected, as in, it was ironic that I was seated next to my ex-husband at the dinner. It is confounding and confusing, and usually quite normal to live in this arrested, imprisoned manner where we believe that life just can't be this easy. But just to save time, it is that easy. Life is that easy. And my God, do I ever need this chapter today? No wonder I picked this one. But, okay, it is natural to experience ease and connection in life with what is important to you. And just a little break. This is a lovely quote from Bertrand Russell, British philosopher. He was around in 1872 to 1979. "The world is full of magical things patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper." Thank you, Bertrand. So I really find that if things are going well, there's a part of me that doesn't quite know how to stay that free. It's almost as if there's an inner non-continuum, but a place that feels the ease, is grateful, feels the beauty, feels how to do what I'm doing, and then is not surprised when things are hard or if it didn't work out. But that's not natural. That's actually not natural. Let me give you an example. A bunch of years ago, I was working with a client, and this client loves to read the newspaper for half an hour of our session. So we sit and she drinks coffee and we read the we read the newspaper. So as she's reading the newspaper, I see on the front page that a friend of mine's son was murdered. And I gasp. It's on the front page, the Toronto Star. And I gasp out loud. And then I catch myself, and I know she's going to say, "What is it?" And I say, "My God, this boy, this is a friend of mine." And she says, "Celeste, that's been in the paper all week." And she looks at me with such agitation that it's the first time I saw this news. Now, I'm on the verge of tears. I want to call my friend. And I was totally like, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying this to me. And so I caught that I was thinking that, oh my God, why would somebody talk to me like that when I just found out my friend's son died? And I'm having all these thoughts, right? Which you could say are valid, like those are valid thoughts, but they're thoughts. And they're not joy thoughts. And I don't mean about being positive, oh good, I found out my friend's son's murdered. I don't mean that you're like, oh, not a problem. It's that I was stunned by the news. I was overwhelmed by the details as I'm reading this for the first time. And my mind wants to think, how could she, I'll pause for the train, how could she say that? So I notice that I'm thinking that. So I'm judging her, right? Please buy your copy of The Intelligent Body. Little advertisement. So as soon as I realize I'm having this thought about what she said to me, I'm in my thinking, mind, my ego, right? So instead, I drop it. And I come back to being there, having coffee with her. She's drinking coffee, I'm watching, and reading the newspaper. And then we go downstairs and do our exercise session. And I notice that I'm feeling slighted. And then I come back, and we have a fantastic session, fantastic. Then I leave her house, I'm coming out, and the thought comes again, who says that? Who says, Celeste, that's insulting. That's just like intense. And I've noticed I'm having these thoughts, and now I've got her on the, the chopping block, and I'm thinking, who does that? And my mind's, riding it out. And then I say, wait. And I catch them being pulled into judgment thoughts of her yet again, but she's back inside. I'm outside. It's a beautiful day. And right away, my lens expands, and I'm seeing more, and I'm not caught in this insulted thought. And I look up, and the landscape crew is there, and they're coming in for the first time that year to work on her property, because this woman is obviously rich. And so I say hi to the crew, and then I ask them some questions about what they're doing, and I'm really happy to see them, because I haven't seen them since last year. And if I had been caught by how insulted I'd been by my client, and my ego thought, then I would not have seen them. I really wouldn't have. And I would have been going to my car in my little funk, with my little cartoon, above my head, and I would have gotten in the car and, caused an accident. So we do cause accidents in ourselves when we keep thinking about what somebody says. We accidentally fall out of joy. We forget to feel alive, and it's not fair to us, ourselves. So we're not doing the joy channel to be optimistic or sell a lot of real estate. It's actually experience so that you can feel how you feel and notice that, sheesh, I don't like people that get upset with me when I find out my friend's son's been murdered. That's intense. I don't think I'll do that. And you can kind of have a little party inside your mind, when you notice how somebody's thinking and you're like, yeesh. And then you can realize, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to feel compassion for people when they find out that their son was murdered. Their friend's son was murdered. So that I really remembered as a big, big turning point in my life, that I would not let anybody's words affect me being alive, which is joy. I hope that helps. I listened to an author let's say a year ago, and he said in his intro that he wanted the purpose of his book was that every child would grow up debt-free. Debt-free. So when I heard that, I knew that I wanted every child to grow up and know that they do not need to come out of joy and wonder, which starts to erode at age 4. So because of the way the mind shifts, and that's in my book in a very, very brief way, not too much science. So, not that science, there's nothing wrong with that. So if you can notice when you get captured by a non-joy thought, please, and stop it, and notice that ease and natural assistance can be an accelerated natural existence, and I think that rhymed, and that it will continue. Joy, constant accelerated living will be the main frame, the default. Okay, so don't get into effort. Don't stop it. Okay, thank you. Bye. Buy the book. Okay, bye. Whew. Getting this off.